My name is David. Today I'll explain a little bit of Australia, not just the theory, about Australia, like living condition, working condition, and etc. Then I'll go through the tile theory as well, tiling theory, according to what we use in Australia from my company. Okay. One thing I realised that is very different to Australia compared to other Asian countries is we are very time sensitive in Australia. When we say we start work at 7, people arrive 6:45. So you can prepare and we start work exactly at 7 o'clock. Okay. No one comes to work at 7 to start work at 7. We come early. Okay. Same with when we finish. When we finish at 4. So from 3:30, we start clean up. So 7 to 3:30 is a standard construction working hours, and this is based on 7.6 hours per day. Okay? This is very important in Australia because a lot of people are getting paid by hourly. There are some companies offering day rates, but by working condition law, you're supposed to do hourly work and based on this. So what this means is when you're given work from your boss, employer, they ask you to tile, let's say 15 square meters, 10 square meters, you have to finish in this hour. And of course, it has to be reasonable request from the boss as well. So this is, we call it ordinary hours. And if it goes over, we call it overtime.
Yeah.
Means you get 50% more money on top of this, on a hourly rate. Now, of course, this is only can be done when your boss requests you to do more work. The outside of the first work you've given that was supposed to be finished in that. And normally, when you come over in Australia, you come in with a visa called 482 visa, and this you normally get annual salary of about 78,000 Australian dollars. From here, we minus tax. So in your bank account, you'll get less after tax, but this is the base salary if you want to come over. Means based on 7.6 hours a day, you have to do more than probably at least 50% of work more than this. So your boss can make a little bit of money and pay you everything. So from here, I have to pay superannuation insurance and any company outgoing fee like accounting, equipment. That's why we have to add 50% at least.
Yeah.
And if your skill is not good enough to do enough day work in these hours, boss isn't going to hire you.
Okay.
This is why I'm saying it's very time sensitive in Australia. No one wants the workers to work 9-10 hours for free. We work 7.6 hours, we finish the job, go home, spend time with family. That's the main thing with Australia. Yeah. And of course, it's to determine how much you have to work in a day. It's different every job because some jobs are easy, which you have to do more.
Yeah.
If the job's hard, you have to do less. So it'll be the boss's, employer's decision to determine that. So every company will have a little bit of different system. So the best thing you can do when you practice here in the training school, keep your basic the best as possible, and take lots of video, watch a lot of videos from YouTube, Instagram, from Australian tilers, and when you come over, you'll get the training for the company to suit their skills into you and your skills into them. You have to have good English, okay? This is probably more important than your tiling skill, because if you can't speak English, you can't communicate. When you come to Australia, they're not going to be able to teach you how to improve your skills. Yeah. So I was in Nepal with the same people last month, and we didn't have any translator. They were able to understand most of what I was telling them, but if it was a little bit complicated, if it's too hard, then sometimes he came and translated, but only very complicated ones. And when you first come over, you have to get driver's license, in Australian driver's license.
Bằng lái xe.
And there's another thing called white card.
Người ta gọi là thẻ trắng white card.
Safety, construction safety training.
Cái thẻ kiểu như an toàn lao động á, xây dựng.
All of that you have to do it in English. Okay. And further from here, I'll probably just explain a little bit more. Normally, when you get this 78,000, there's a couple more things called annual leave, and sick leave, and paid public holiday. So annual leave, you get 4 weeks of working days per year. If you use this, you still get money when you're on holiday, and you get 10 days of sick leave.
Có 10 ngày nghỉ bệnh.
When you're sick or your family is sick, if you go to the hospital, they give you a little certificate that shows one of your family members is sick. If you provide that to the company, they'll pay for the sick leave as well.
Ok. Thì nếu mình bị bệnh hay là gia đình bị bệnh á, thì mình sẽ đến bệnh viện, mình lấy cái giấy chứng nhận rồi đưa cho người ta. Người ta sẽ tính cái ngày lương này đó cho mình.
And pay the public holiday like Christmas, New Year's, Australia Day, they're all public holidays. And we have to pay when you're on day off as well. Even if you don't work, you still get paid.
Trong là ngày kiểu ngày Úc hay là ngày Giáng sinh rồi đó, mấy ngày lễ nước ngoài thì người ta vẫn trả tiền cho mình, mặc dù mình nghỉ.
So all these is plus superannuation. Super is included in this 50%. This is why we are saying if you're getting 78,000, company has to earn at least 50% more than what employer, your boss, wouldn't know if you're eligible to work for the company. So they give you 3 to 6 months probation period. So this period is, reasonable Australian companies expect you, don't expect you to be really good when you first come over. So within this 3 to 6 month period, they're going to train you to make sure you can achieve this. So what I normally suggest is to achieve 7.6 hours within this probation period. You can do voluntary work, which employer cannot force you, but if you come and just work, we can't stop you. So I normally suggest, if you think you're not good enough, maybe spend a little bit, even half an hour or 1 hour a day, just to make your level higher within this period. But employers cannot force you to do this, okay? And so the overtime do not occur. They can't pay you overtime unless they tell you to do it. You can't work 10 hours and tell your boss, I want overtime. You can't do that, all right? This only happens when your boss asks you. Companies, hopefully, they'll sponsor you for 4 years. This period is included in the 4 years. And this is based on the market price. So it might go up a little bit, but it'll stay, or if you're really good, employer might increase once a year. 6 to 10, 12 years. The highest one I paid 190,000. So more than double of this. And some guys about 100. But takes probably 4-6 years to get to this level. At least, yeah.
Những người ốp gạch đó thì thường làm cho ổng là làm từ 5 đến 9 năm ha. Thì mức lương dao động từ đây đến đây này, những người làm giỏi nhất thì cũng được 190.000, nhưng mà cũng phải mất từ 4-6 năm ha, mới đạt được mức lương đó. Okay.
So these guys, you know, screeding, floor, sand and cement, you level the floor. He used to do plus 200 square meters of screeding a day. So it was really good.
Cái làm là cán nền là 200 mét vuông mỗi ngày, nên là cũng phải là rất là.
Yeah. Generally, we expect you to do about 50 square meters. Is
bình thường 50 thôi. Bình thường 50 thôi.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're good, goes up. Yeah, that's Australia. If you're better, you have our skills, you're really good tiler, your money will just keep going up. Okay.
Nói chung giỏi thì lương sẽ tiếp tục tăng cao thôi.
And obviously this, when you come over with this money after tax, minus tax, you need to find a house to live, and you have to spend food, and you also need to purchase a car. Some companies will provide you a car. So for first 6 months, you're probably going to be spending a lot of money. But from after 6 months, you can probably save a lot. Good. All right. I think that's probably okay. Any questions they want to ask?
Có câu hỏi gì không?
Individual tax. Individual tax. Thuế thu nhập cá nhân.
Annual tax. So the annual tax, how much is it?
So I'll explain it. This is a little bit complicated. Okay.
Phức tạp đấy.
So Australia tax system, it's a, hold on, sorry. We have a bracket is 0 to tax rates, residents. 200 is 0%, and 201 to 45 is 16%, and the
Yes.
30%. So I don't know if you can explain this or not, but so if you earn, let's say, to make it easy number, you say 50,000. You pay no tax from 0 to 18,200.
Yeah.
But money from 0 to 1800 minus 50 is what? 3,1800. For 3,800 to 45,000, you get 16% tax. So from this is the tax for this one.
Yeah.
And then the remaining amount of $5,000, because the next bracket is 45.
Yeah.
You get 30%. So all up, that's what is it? Yeah, oh, 15, sorry. 1500 plus 4288 from this 16% bracket is what you pay for when you earn 50,000.
So you have to pay for double taxes. Okay.
No. So if you earn 50,000, money you earn from 0 to 18,200
Yeah.
in this 50,000, you
Yeah.
pay no tax.
Yeah.
And then the bracket from 18,200 to 45,000,
Yeah.
pay 16%, which is this.
Yeah.
So only 5,000 you're paying 30%.
Yeah.
But the rest was all already calculated before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the
So
tax for
no. So next bracket is 45,000.
Yeah.
So you only have 5,000 to work out the 30%, because all the remaining was calculated here.
So there's 16% tax for the
For between 18,200 to 45,000.
yeah.
You
Okay,
understand?
so you subtract this one, and then you subtract another one.
Yeah. So you have to. So if you're earning $50,000,
Yeah.
let's say. 45 and 50, let's say. From this bracket, zero tax. From here to here, 16%, which is 4288. And from here to here,
Right.
you're paying 30%.
Yeah, for 15,000.
So that's 15,000.
So I thought it was
1,500.
Yeah.
1,500. So all total tax you pay is this plus that. So which is
Well, I don't understand. Like 30% of
5,000.
30% of that.
The bracket, this bracket.
Yeah. So the 30% of this number.
No, 30% of this, the leftover.
So I don't think it's 1,000. I think it's 15,000. So 30% of like
30% of $5,000, because tax bracket here is 45,000 to 50,000. So there's 5,000 left. 30% of that. The total tax you pay is 5788. You understand?
so you okay. So
This is
Now-
hard to explain, even in English and Korean.
now from here, it is 30% of 5,000. So you subtract 50,000 to like 45,000. Then 5,000, right?
5,000.
Subtract this number.
Yeah.
5,000.
Is 30%.
Yeah. So what you see is
So if you earn 50,000 a year,
yeah.
you have to pay tax of that and 4288
4288.
Yeah, so-
that is 16% of.
this 18,200 to 45,000.
I understand now.
Yeah. Oh, good. This is hard. Very hard.
Hiểu số rồi. Là mình sẽ
So if you earn $78,000 a year, you have to pay tax for this plus this. But all together is 14,188. So after tax, you earn 63,812 is after tax. This might change a little bit,
Yeah.
but that's in detail accountant's job. This is
Okay.
but rough number.
Okay.
Okay. And normally, when we work out the living cost in Australia, if you don't waste too much money, like go out shopping, go on holiday, go out for food every night,
Yeah.
as long as you don't do that and you're trying to save money, normally people work out $25,000 for the living cost to sometimes 35. Depends your living condition, your family. If you have a whole family come over, then it costs you more.
Yeah.
So normally you expect to save good $25,000 to $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how much I think if you're single, you
Yeah.
should save money. And I don't know what that is in Vietnam, but so if you save, let's say, to be safe, you save $20,000 a year. That's so if you save 20,000 AED, Australian dollars. That's 35.1 million, I think, is it?
No. 20.000.
35, 351 million?
351 triệu ha.
Right number?
20.000.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So, but if you work more,
Yeah.
normally boss will ask you to work more
Yeah.
at least once every 2 weeks to do overtime. You get 50% more, you can earn more. So my worker who used to earn $64,000 a year,
Yeah.
he did a lot of after hours, a lot of overtime and night shift and all that. That year he earned 87, I think, 87,000. So normally company has more work than standard hours to make sure you don't run out of work. But when they ask you to do overtime, you get more money, you know. I tell you 50% more is a basic. But if you do night shift, you get more. Sunday, you get more. Public holiday, you get more than 50%. If you do that, like you can earn, with this money, if you work really hard, you can earn 100 grand.
Nói chung
This is important because obviously if you earn, money is goal, you know.
Yeah.
When you come over from Vietnam to Australia,
Yeah.
your main goal is money.
Yeah.
So you have to have this goal so you can work harder
Yeah.
and practice English harder, study, you know.
Yeah. Thì biết là qua Úc thì chủ yếu là làm để tiền thôi, nên vì nghĩ đến tiền thì mục đích của mình là để mình phấn đấu, đúng không? Cải thiện kỹ năng, cải thiện cả ngôn ngữ nữa ha, tiếng Anh.
Yeah. All good?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Any questions?
Còn câu hỏi gì không?
I would say 40 minutes with a drive. But it's where I live. Different state might be different. I'm in the western side of Australia.
Yeah.
Eastern side is a little bit more expensive with living cost. And it's a little bit further sometimes. But even this, it can change, depends on the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 40 minutes is reasonable. Australia, living condition, and something you have to know before you come over.
Yeah.
And I start a little bit of theory for tiling, okay? Standard. So, Australian standard in building site in Australia
Yeah.
is it's like law in the building site. You must follow that. Even someone asks you a little bit differently, it's not ideal to go against it. So this is very important, and every site they'll tell you what you need to follow.
Yeah.
Okay. The most important standard is probably falls. This is like a waterfall for drainage. So in the shower, balcony, outside.
Falls này nó giống như kiểu như cái hệ thống thoát nước đồ á, nước chảy á.
So 1-200 is general fall, general wet areas with so if, for example, if you have the let's say this is a shower and there's a, so let's say we've got a bathroom looking like this, okay? This is a shower and this is outside shower, which you will have like a toilet, vanity. This is the general wet areas, generally. And you want 1 in 100 means every 1,000 millimeters, which is 1 meter, you want 10 mil, okay? So if this distance from here to here, if it was 1.6 meters, then you want 16 mil fall.
This is the area where the waterfall like down are gonna be. Or is it? I'm talking about this.
Yeah.
Is it the area where it's kind of down?
Fall diagonally or straight, or
He asked me if it is the area where the water will flow like down the way into the drainage.
yeah, from here to there,
Yeah.
or
Yep.
here to there. The rate's different on this one and that one, but you want to average of this. This is average. So normally, I suggest to go 1 in 100 diagonally. Then this is slightly stronger. Anything less than this, it can be a problem. If you have floor like this, from here to here is 1 meter, and this is 0.
1%.
Yeah, this means 10 mil. Yeah, but straight.
1%.
Yeah, 1%. That's the general wet areas. Laundry, toilet, outside shower like that. Generally, you want 1 in 100. But all the rest, like showers, external, like your balcony and your driveway. Driveway can be a little bit different, but if you just remember this, this is normally okay. If it gets a little bit harder or different, your boss will tell you, you know. So obviously this is stronger, you know. So this one, 800 mil to 600 mil, you have 10 mil. Yeah.
Tỷ lệ này sẽ mạnh hơn.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
This is basic. Okay. I don't know if I should go that way. And sometimes if it's too strong, it's a problem too. So we have to try to keep it within this range. Okay. If it's like 400 mil, 10 mil, normally on the walls it looks ugly, like it looks bad on the walls.
Okay.
So people don't like this. This is no good. So strong is not good. It has to be within this range.
Nói chung là phải trong tầm này. Nếu mà kiểu như mạnh hơn nữa cái 400 này nó thì nó nhìn nó kỳ. Nhìn nó kỳ.
Yeah, because on the wall you see these big V's on the walls.
Cái
Yeah,
gì
yeah.
thường nhìn nó kỳ.
Yeah. And normally when we do leveling, we call it screeding. Screeding. We mix 1 to 6. This is cement. This is sand.
Tỷ lệ pha vữa sao?
Sand. Yeah?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Yeah. This can be a little bit different if cement or sand is compacted, but generally you're pretty close. The standard actually says 1 to 4, but cement compacts more. So if you follow this, sometimes cement is too strong. So generally we just tell to go 1 to 6 because this is safe. If it's too strong, it's not good either. Too weak is no good.
So this job the title what to do?
To do the screening.
Yeah. It's a basic as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
the title.
Yeah, Tyler. On the floor. Wall, not wall.
Not
Yeah. But when you go up the next level, you have to do walls too. Like really good tilers do walls too. But basics, just the floor. Okay. It's better for your tiling skill as well. So if you can practice wall as well, it's always better. For me, I do basic of concreting, bricklaying, a little bit of carpentry as well. So more skills you have, it's better for your tiling as well.
Ông cũng chọn xi măng làm mọc rồi cắt gạch rồi đó. Nói chung là mình biết nhiều cái thì tốt thôi.
Yeah. Falls maximum. And I think that's okay. And okay. So this is about falls, okay?
Yeah.
So when I do training on site, I will probably go through this again. but not in detail. Okay, I'm just trying to explain everything now. Floor tiling. A lot of time we use porcelain floor tiles. There is normally ceramic and porcelain tiles, two different tiles. The floor is generally porcelain. You want me to search? Porcelain in Vietnam. This.
Sứ.
Yeah, that's porcelain, and ceramic is clay. You know, like a clay tile.
Đất sét.
Ceramic in ceramic.
So it's looks like the same thing to me.
So ceramic is made out of like a lot of sand, so it's soft.
Okay.
Yeah, and porcelain is like a crushed stone mixed, or I'll just say tile. Porcelain is generally, tiles are hard first, that's number one. Generally, your tile edge is square. The edges of the tile is square. But a lot of ceramic tiles have like a round edge like that. Yeah. So generally, porcelain's much harder to lay. Harder, normally rectified, we call it. Side is that square edge, and
Rectangle.
less porous, and surface is rough. Sorry, let me just 2 seconds. And normally, you know, the tile spaces, this grout joint we use 2mm a lot, or 3mm for porcelain. 2 to 3mm, depends on the site. Okay.
Thì
Grout joint.
thì kích cỡ là từ 2mm 3mm là sứ, porcelain. So the from 2 to 3 millimeter is the porcelain.
Yeah, the joint between
the joint.
tile to tile. Yeah. No, that's like a brick tile. So more like this, but it's tile, not stone. But looks like these.
Yeah.
But it's
Cutting
tile.
by CNC.
No. Just tile cutter, but really strong. Yeah, looks like stone, but it's a tile. Yeah, it's a tile.
It's called in Vietnam by granite.
No, granite's stone. That's natural stone. So granite, you have to cut with a grinder and CNC, but porcelain tile is cut by just a tile cutter.
Yeah.
Just the surface looks like stone, but it's still tile. Yeah. This is porcelain. Yeah, no, this is porcelain tile. Yeah. Ceramic on the floor is too weak. It breaks a lot. So you don't use ceramic too often on the floor tiles anymore. So normally, because it's hard to cut, so you have to use, when you use your manual tile cutter, you have to score it really hard, otherwise it'll break off. It's meant to be less porous. So porous means it absorbs water a lot, but less porous. So when there's a water, it doesn't absorb the water quickly. And generally the surface is rougher than ceramic tile. This is very slippery, but in Australia we have a very strict rule not to use slippery tiles on the floor. In this area it's okay because there's no water. But in the shower, if you use this and if someone falls, you have to be liable for it.
Úc.
So when you have the tile glue adhesive, press it down.
Yeah.
But if this skin where it meets the tile is a little bit dry, tiles don't stick because the porcelain tile, it's not absorbing much moisture. Normally, when you put your glue, spread the glue on the floor, you want to lay that within, it depends on the glue, but you want to lay them in less than 10 minutes. Okay? Otherwise, your skin just dries off and tile just pops, you know.
Nhưng khi vết keo bề mặt sau á, của cái gạch á, thì 10 phút nó sẽ khô, nên là mình cố gắng mình làm nhanh không nó khô lại.
Okay? Or you can, behind the tile, you can put your glue spread over before you put it on. So even if the skin's dry, you still have the glue on the surface.
Yeah. Can you explain it once more?
So on the back of the tile, if this glue is not going to stick properly, we can put a glue behind the tile as well.
Yeah.
That way, this is fresh glue. You put it on, so it will always stick. You know.
Là mình
We call it back buttering.
back là bên sau.
Behind the tile, back of the tile, we butter it with glue. So normally Australian standard tells you anything bigger than 450 by.
Sorry, we use buttering for on the side. On the side of the tile.
Sorry.
So we gonna do the back buttering for all sizes.
No. So normally anything bigger than 450 by 450 tile, it's better practice to do the back buttering. But this one, it can be a little bit different on which company you work for. Really expensive glue or adhesive that you don't have to back butter it even if it's slightly bigger than this. So it depends on the company. So normally, if you want to be safe, wherever you have lots of water, like showers, outside, balconies, we try to do back buttering every time we're using the porcelain tiles for anything bigger than 450 by 450. Water goes behind the tile and it just pushes, spreads the water and it delaminates. It pops the tile.
Nên là mình phải cái keo không là kiểu như nước mà nó ở dưới nó bung ra.
Okay. And next thing, the surface is very rough sometimes. Sometimes, like commercial disabled toilet or swimming pools, where you have a high traffic of water in your feet, they use really rough tiles. When we lay rough tiles that in the swimming pool, if we use bare hand, my skin comes off in 2 days. It's that rough. Means you have to clean your tiles every time you lay. So any glue you drop on the tile, you can't clean it off because the surface is too rough. We use expensive glue. Expensive glue sticks on the mirror as well, metal, mirror, wood. If it sticks onto the rough tiles, you just cannot clean it at all. So always got to be clean when you lay tiles. So cleaning it's always a problem. It's habit. So when you train, you have to have a good habit of cleaning tiles. If you don't do it right in the first, when you're training, when it becomes your bad habit, even after 5 years, 10 years, you just cannot fix it because this is your habit, you know.
Cái này là
So this is very important. I tell everyone, every day, still have a problem, but very little stuff. But the client comes and sees it, you know. So it's only a little bit, it's no good still. And when you lay floor tile in the wet areas where it's got falls, you're always going to have a problem because I'll just draw it up. Let's say you have drain here, we call it floor waste. And you have a
vuông ở giữa là chỗ thoát nước.
So let's say you have a fall this line. But when you lay tiles, if you put tiles in the middle, water will just water cannot go into the drain
Yeah.
because tile's flat.
Yeah.
If you lay tile like this, water will always stay here or here or here.
Yeah.
Always have to have 4 tiles around floor waste, the drain.
Thì
Or sometimes we do cross cut like that. So water can still fall into the tile. But not many people like it because you got to see the cutting line middle of the tile.
có cách thì khác là người ta sẽ cắt cái chỗ này cho nước nó chảy vô, nhưng mà người ta cũng nhiều người không thích ha, tại vì nó kỳ á, nước chảy bốn phía vậy nên hơi kỳ.
Okay. And of course, all this area as well, it's got to fall into the drain. Okay. So your screeding has to be good. That way, when you lay this tile, it's still nice and even with no step, and still falls into the drain.
Có
Bad or not experienced tiler sometimes, because when you start putting falls, it's harder. It's not easy to lay tiles.
Yeah.
Some people, even if the screeding is good with the falls,
Yeah.
they put lots of glue in this area,
Yeah.
make it flat. This happens all the time too. So when they're still learning, they have to be careful, make sure each tile is all falling into the drain. You know, every tile is draining. Okay. And the other problem you get is on this line, where the fall changes, because so this box obviously falls differently. This one will fall that way and this way, whereas this one will fall this way and that way. So normally when this tile meets, there's always a little bit of difference in height, which you have to make it flat as well. So to make it easy, even if you had several tiles like this, you can assume this one whole thing is one piece tile, even though it's lots of tiles.
Yeah.
If you think this is one tile,
Yeah.
it's easy. And when you cut around this drain, normally I tell if the grout joint is 2 mil, your cut line around the floor waste has to be the same, 2 mil. Okay. So all the joints, what you see on the corner and everywhere, they're going to be equal. Okay. Sometimes people cut this very tight, and the grout doesn't go in, then it's got no movement, so it's not durable enough.
Thì
So these are basic things I try to teach my team for the first 6 months to 12 months. But it's when you have a time sensitive working condition,
yeah.
it takes a long time to get this improved. Okay? It's a basic, but it's to get it to your skills and your habit.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of time. Okay. Okay, that's floor. I'll do walls. Okay.
Xong cái sàn giờ mình qua tường ha.
All tiling. Normally has to be sitting at the top of the floor tile. Okay. So this is no good. This is okay.
Yeah.
Floor, wall. Okay, not wall, floor. Okay, floor first. Yeah.
Anh hiểu đúng không?
The second is correct. The second is correct.
Second is wrong.
Correct.
Second is wrong one. Là cái thứ hai sai á.
Hai sai hả?
Là cách mình phải đặt cái.
And a lot of standard wall tiles we use is the ceramic tile, which is softer, but not always. You know, we still use porcelain and ceramic, but
Yep.
walls we use ceramic more. But normally, very commonly, we use 300 by 600 rectified. Okay. This is the most common tile. Probably half of the time when they come over, it'll be always this. You know. Yeah.
Lá gạch này là gạch ceramic, là gạch phổ biến nhất ha khi mà mình học tường đó. Thì cái tỷ lệ đây là 360.
Generally, wall tiles, probably 90% of the time, 2mm joints, okay? Sometimes 1, sometimes 1.5, sometimes 3. That's another probably 10%. Oh, let's call it 9%. But 99% of the time, 2mm joints is very standard, okay?
90% thời gian là cái đo là 2 mm ha.
Yeah.
Trường hợp hiếm hơn là đó, số 1.53.
And 1% can be anything, you know. 1% can be 5mm, 10mm, or if they want more, can be more 4mm or whatever, you know. So, yeah. But if you just practice 2mm all the time, what you see is probably 3.
Cỡ 3
Yeah, it's about tight 3, this one. So 2 is a little bit smaller. Yeah. All right. But this joint between wall and floor, some people want less joint because you're gonna see the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see the cut to look like it's not there.
Yeah.
You know, seamless cut. So some people want less than 2, but if you keep it at 2 all the time, you're normally okay. Sometimes if they want silicon to go in, like silicon normally goes in like that, then this can be a little bit wider.
Yeah.
But generally just keep it at 2 as well. It's pretty safe, okay?
Thì thường là 2 mm ha, cách thông thường là 2 mm.
A lot of time in the corner where it's exposed corner, like you have, if you're tiling like that, you want to do mitre. So 45 cut, call it mitre. And it's 45. So this, you want a little bit of joint here as well. So the grout goes in, but make sure the glue behind is spread all the way. Sometimes people don't put glue here,
Yeah.
and this cracks. Okay. This cut is normally done by hand,
Yeah.
okay? By grinder, by hand. And if you look closely, you're leaving a little bit of edge like that.
Yeah.
But when we do on site, I'll show you how much we normally leave. Okay, you can't be like that. This will break. Okay, so we normally leave a little bit left. And generally, when you lay walls, you want to go. Let's say, if you have a wall with a little miters to go return like that. This side has to be square and level. Okay.
Level.
Yeah, we call it plumb. Yeah. So plumb is
It's
level
straight.
on a vertical,
Yeah.
and level is flat on a horizontal. Okay.
Yeah.
So it has to be square this way
Yeah.
and level this way. So the most basic bathroom you want to practice, it'll look like you got a shower floor, but on one side of the wall you have the half height wall as well. So this, and so if you do wall tiles, floor, and this wall tiling with the mitre as well, all this.
Yeah.
If you can do all the wall tiling in a day, you're okay. All right. So
Yeah.
when we start training, we'll probably try to make one fake wall where we can practice if it's not there already, and then we can try this. We call it nib wall. Okay, nib wall. So yeah.
So what is a nib wall?
Normally, when you have nib wall in the shower,
Yeah.
your shower screen glass sits like that, This is a glass.
Yeah.
So and you can put your shampoo and stuff here,
À,
soap, shampoo. But a lot of Australian shower looks like that, or a little bit various shape of showers, but that's very common and good shape to practice.
cái tường này em
When we
ok.
when we go there, it's probably easier to see. You know, it's easier to understand.
Why-
Other than that, I think this is good enough. I think for walls.
Sorry, the word as the word we don't see when we go direct the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one other reason. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to find a photo, maybe.
Cái tường này
Sorry, the word as the word we don't see when we go direct the roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one other reason. Yeah.
If we lay the tile for put the room like sleeping room or bathroom, we lay the walls first, then we lay the floor.
Not in Australia.
Oh,
Floor first.
wow.
Yeah.
Floor first.
Always floor first. Several reasons. Normally, in a big bathroom, clients want to floor tile to line up the walls. If you lay the floors first, you can be like the middle to off, and your set out has to start from the shower floors. And because of this, you have to follow. Because you can't do this, it's better to do the floor first. Sometimes, if we do the walls first, we leave the bottom tile off, finish all the walls, then we finish the floor and put the bottom tile. But it's only for like a really large job. Otherwise, always floor first.
Khi nào làm rất là rộng cái thì có thể là mình làm cái lúc mà không phải là làm cái này trước là So we have to waiting for a time.
Yeah.
How long?
One day.
One day.
Okay. So normally lay floors on the first day, and then come back next day and do the walls. Yeah.
Được có tường đèn rồi đèn sau rồi cô.
Yeah. Okay. So that's probably okay for all, and I'll just do a little bit more on the grout and silicon then. I think theory, we'll do it up. Okay.
이게 시과 제베리 오늘도 시과니까요. 선생님도 뭐 금방 한것 같은데.
알겠습니다.
네네.
10분이면 끝나긴 하네요.
그래요?
네. 10분. And grout and silicon. Silicon, it's probably not, you probably don't have to practice here, but silicon generally, all the corners, if this is not grouted, silicon always goes like that. And this gap is normally by the width of the silicon. So from the edge of the round, is 5 mm.
Và tự nhiên cái độ dốc của cái đo này nó có chia thì là thích cảm hơn trong cái cách.
Yes, and the silicon has to go in a little bit like that. So yeah, it goes under, so it's strong. If the silicon's like skinny like that, it peels off later. So make sure it goes under. Yeah, not 100%. You can't do 100%, but not too skinny.
Tức là có lẽ là silicon lúc này sao nó cũng nhìn ra cái không bị bằng là silicon that means glue.
No, the silicon.
That's
Silicon just from the tube. You have the silicon gun that you squeeze.
Yeah.
But sometimes this is grouted as well. Sometimes, but when it's grouted, you square it, grout. If it's grouted, okay. But silicon is really round.
là bữa thì là cái có tiếng đổi đó nó silicon.
Okay. And with both, very important when you want to grout. When your glue's still on the side of the tile like that, grout does not sometimes stick properly, or because of this glue, after you grout, you're going to see some discoloration. So make sure if you glue like on the side of tile, you're not going to see it. At least try to clean it as much as possible. And this depth of the tile has to be at least to the back of the tile. So sometimes people leave glue like that. This is no good as well. You want to clean it down to the bottom as possible.
Cái cái keo á, cái keo nó xuống dưới đây cái là cái nhôm này. Cái này thì
Yeah. So grout, you want to have equal depth. Yeah. Don't grout just the top. Grout all the way, deep as possible.
Nó mà chét bữa vậy lúc này đủ độ sâu đó là hết luôn mà chứ là trên thì mặt không dưới đâu.
Because grout is colored grout. If the depth is different and water evaporates and grout dries, the color will change if the drying time changes too.
So the color change when.
So if this, let's say you have a grout joint here, grout joint there. If this grout was only gone halfway, and this one went all the way, because the depth of the grout is different. When this will take longer to dry, right? Because it's deeper, water has to evaporate. Whereas this one will dry a bit fast. The color changes with that and that. So you want the grout is colored. Normally you have the grout in dark grey, ivory. Yeah. So you want to keep the depth of the grout deep as possible. Make sure you have a nice even colour grout.
Quán nhét một sao cho nó hết luôn cái khúc này trong cái không. Nên nếu mà mình nhét hết thì nó sẽ có cao hơn để mà khô. Để nó hơi lướt móc hơi nữa. Cái thì nó rất là không đen. Và nó sẽ có màu nữa. Cái màu nếu mà mình ép lại đủ á, màu sẽ ép lại.
Because a lot of time people try to do it fast, then they only put a little bit of grout at the top. And if you use dark grout, you're going to see like different colour in this section, different colour in that section. You always have to push your grout into the joint, like deep as possible.
Cô đang nãy giờ hết cái bữa vào trong. Thế nếu mà mình nãy ông thấy để cho nhìn được cái màu.
Yeah. And obviously, make sure after you grout, clean. Just we give you a sponge to clean off. Before it dries off, we have to clean. But this is basic.
Ok, cũng làm tí cái rồi thì khi mình test xong rồi mình lấy những cái bọt ra mấy cái gương sạch rồi làm tí rồi.
Yeah, and normally colored grout you have to mix with exactly same amount of water. So first mix, second mix. If you put 2 liters of water, have to put 2 liters of water, same amount of powder. If you make the first one slightly red, then the second one, the colour is different again. I think that's it for basic view.
Xong, tí tôi làm xong.